Hello, my name is Bethany, and this is my channel, Bethany's Thoughts. Today, I'm discussing a project that I'm going to be working on for the next several months. So this is not something that I'm going to be able to do in 1 month. This is not something that I'm going to be able to do in a readathon type capacity. This is something that's really important to me. When Black Lives Matter and the protests really hit during this pandemic in most of late May, early June, and as they're still ongoing in Portland right now, for those who don't know, felt really called to action, but I didn't know in what capacity or how. I really didn't feel safe during a pandemic at this time for protesting, but I did think about this booktube, which I had just barely started when everything's really started to blow up with Black Lives Matter, which has been an ongoing issue. This is not something that ever stopped. This is just something that got media attention and was a culmination of things that happened together that got people to protest and stand up. I slowly but surely started buying books. I specifically tried to make sure to target Black bookstores, which took me a little bit longer because there's no Black bookstores in my area, unfortunately. So I slowly went through the process of buying from Black bookstores to purchase these books in an attempt to make sure to educate myself. So I'm approaching this like I would a college course because, I don't know, that's just how my brain works. This is my curriculum. I am going to annotate all the things and learn from all the things, and probably maybe I'll do, I don't know, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to present it on BookTube. I'm either going to maybe do 1 or 2 books at a time and talk about them and talk about my thoughts of them if you want to know, or just things I learned, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I mean, obviously I know I'm approaching this as a white woman reading these, and my job isn't necessarily but I mean, maybe in some small capacity I could be educating others, because the Black people are tired and they're done educating us, so we need to educate ourselves. And books, for me, have always been the way that I do that. This is a time for me to do that, and I think it's going to be an ongoing process. I mean, I have a ton of books here. I don't think I'm going to be able to read them all in one go like I would a readathon, because I mean, nonfiction's a lot harder for me to read. I figured I'd go through them and discuss a little bit about them, and yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing. And this is just really just for me. And I thought because I have this channel, I thought I would share the books that I plan on reading. And I'd encourage everyone to do the same. These are the books that I've seen from different recommendations, different videos, what other people have been reading. And this is, like, as I mentioned, an ongoing thing, as well as I'm also making sure as well to diversify my fictional reading, my fiction reads as well, along with these. I'm not going to say at the end of this I'm going to still be an expert, because I'm not going to, because I'm white. I am never going to be an expert on this, but I am so going to try my damn hardest. And this is what's important to me, and this is what everyone should be reading up on, and everyone should be learning about, and everyone should have a consciousness about, so we can make sure that spreads and have a social consciousness about it. Let's start with what everyone's been reading, White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. A couple things I need to say about this. This is the book that's being recommended everywhere to discuss about why it's hard for white people to talk about racism, and how to approach your white bias and unpack, and what that means, and why white people don't want to be confronted with race and discuss racism. Here's the thing. There's been a lot of criticism about this book that I've seen on BookTube, on Book Twitter, on so many different avenues. And I still bought it. I still plan on reading it for a couple reasons. And here's why. This is Bethany from the future again. As I was editing this video, I realized that, I don't know, I just didn't explain myself really well with my reasoning for reading White Fragility. So I thought I'd come on and just include this really quick clip, kind of explaining myself a little bit better. Because this book is being recommended so often, there's a lot of people reading it right now. And I think I want to be able to read that as well so I can better understand some of the criticism and concern that the book has gotten, as well as I have a whole list of things I plan to read. So my goal is to read this, but also in discussions that I have with people in the future, I'm going to be able to tie in everything else that I'm reading and what this book lacks, or whatever criticism or things that maybe doesn't push it far enough is what I want to be able to contribute to the discussion that's going on with this book right now. Yeah, I think that for me to be part of that discussion of this book, I need to read the book. So I think that's why it's important for me to read it and why I'm still planning on reading it. Hopefully my goal is that when I be able to discuss this book, I can discuss with other people other things that can tie in and hopefully encourage them to read some of the other books that are out there by Black authors. That's my goal for reading the book. And back to past Bethany. So I think that's what a lot of people have criticized about this book, is it doesn't go further and has just discussed the history. This is also from the perspective of a white woman who studies white studies. It's an academic book. It's not necessarily, again, it doesn't really necessarily tie in history. And the historical component is a big reason why we have the racism that we do in this country. Second reason being that a lot of white people who have read it have said that it's a good place to start. To start, not to end, but a good place to start. This is my thoughts on that. The next book I plan on reading is White Rage by Carol Anderson. Yes, this is written by a Black woman. It was recommended as a companion to White Fragility. So I'm really interested to see how these books work together and what they had to say about each other. The next one I picked out was Me and White Supremacy. That is by Layla Said. There's a foreword by Robin DiAngelo, which I found really interesting. This is also written by a Black woman. Hello, Bethany here with another editing from the future. I learned more when I researched how to say her last name, which I honestly should have done before I filmed, which is on me and my fault. I actually learned more about Me and White Supremacy. It was actually started as an Instagram challenge that she then created into a book. And there's also a version that is a workbook. The version I have is strictly just a book. But knowing that, I definitely want to make sure to try to get the workbook version. So yeah, it's a 28-day challenge. So I definitely think I'm going to do the 28 days. I think that sounds something really great and it will be a really fun activity to do. So this is something that I've seen recommended. There's one where there's actually a journal component. That's a workbook that you write in, which I thought was really, really interesting. This is not that. I couldn't find the workbook at the Black bookstore that I was ordering online from, so I might have to see where else I can get that. But yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping that maybe I can get the workbook before I read that one. The next one I got was Stamped. This is by Jason Reynolds and Ibram Kendi. This is the YA version. Stamped from the beginning, and this is the YA version. This kind of goes a little bit more into the history and of how racism is impacting our culture now and how it started. I got the YA version because I just felt like it would be a lot of these books are very, very dense. I thought this would be some of the reviews that I've read comparing the adult version to the YA version. The YA version is a lot more readable, and but it still covers the same types of topics, and you can still get a lot out of it. So I thought I'd do the YA version instead to start off with, and then if I really, really like it and want to learn more, then I can go back to the adult version. And the next book I got is How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram Kendi as well. I've seen a lot of lists recommend this one. I've seen a lot of reviewers recommend this one as well. So this is one that I'm also going to check out. So yeah, it's self-explanatory what it's trying to do there. This one I don't see on many lists, but I heard about it and I'm intrigued about it, and I just thought it would be interesting to read and want to know more. This is Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. I'm interested to see what this is about. This is a Black woman writer. I think what's important to take away from this, likely, what I'm hoping, is just why people of color, Black people, don't feel comfortable talking to white people about race and why that is. And when really it's an important discussion that white people should always be open to. Part of reading all this is try to discuss it more. One of the other things that I wanted that was really important to me in doing this was making sure also to get intersectional books, intersectionality. So a big part of that is feminism. I've considered myself a feminist since college, even before then, even before then, but I really identified what my feminism was in college. And so these books work intersectionalism of feminism and being a woman of color. The first book I picked up for that was Eloquent Rage by Brittany Cooper. This is a Black feminist discovers her superpower. I love that. The power of a Black feminist, the power of a Black woman. Black women have done a lot for this country and a lot for our history, and we don't necessarily know about it. Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. Hopefully this is my last note of edit Bethany interjecting here, because as I was watching my original footage, I kind of just didn't really portray hood feminism. I think I came across too harsh in my explanation of hood feminism. So I decided that I wanted to look it up and re-explain myself. Hood feminism is about kind of a criticism or critique of mainstream feminism, the elements of mainstream feminism that get lost, and how race and class don't get a lot of recognition in mainstream feminism. And a lot about intersectionality and what mainstream feminism is lacking. So yeah, which I think is a very important discussion to have, and something that I've thought about for a really long time, and I've heard really good things about it, and I'm really excited to read it. This comes a little bit sad at this time because I actually ordered this before his death. Definitely, I feel like absolutely I was super happy that I ordered it before he died, because I think it's very apropos now. March. It's written by John Lewis, and Andrew Aden and Nate Powell were the creators with him. Obviously, you know, John Lewis recently passed away, and this is about his march to the civil rights movement and his experience in the civil rights movement. So I am really happy that I ordered it before his death, because I think that's really powerful to read now, and I definitely can't wait to read it, and I'm really excited about it. I've heard really good, beautiful things about it. The art's really, really beautifully done. I'm really looking forward to it. The next one I picked up was The Color of Law. This is A Forgotten History of How Government Segregated America, and this is by Richard Rothstein. One of the interesting things that I have been really intrigued by is there's been a lot of threads on Twitter of history and movements in history and moments in history. So those historical moments I think are really key and really powerful, and really tells a lot about the racism in our country and are important to know and be aware of. And I've learned a lot through just those Twitter threads. And so I felt like I came across this book, and I just thought that it was really key and important to learn more about. One of the books I think I'm interested in also going to be reading, and I've been wanting to read it for a while, is Just Mercy by Brian, I want to say it's Brian Stevenson. I'll put it here. I have it saved for my audiobooks. I've had it saved for a while. But I haven't gotten it yet. I'm interested and intrigued to see what that is going to be about. And I really want to read the book before I see the movie. So that's definitely on my TBR as well. I'm not sure exactly what order I'm going to be reading it and mixed in this, but might see, now that I'm on Libby, I might actually see if Libby has it available. I'm obviously going to start with these two to start off. The order that I went in is the order that I'm going to try to read them in. Those two are what I'm going to start off as. I think I'm going to start them either in September, read them through probably September and October. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish both of them. Like I said, I'm approaching this like a college course. I'm annotating. I never annotate my books. I haven't annotated since college. This is how much I want to learn all of this, everything that I possibly can, and I'm not going to still be an expert in, but I'm certainly hoping that it'll get me at least just a little bit closer to being better. A broad sense, making myself better will make the whole world better. That's my hope. Thank you for watching my video. That's it for me today. I really, really hope someone is going to read these. If anyone wants to do a buddy read for any of these, please let me know and reach out to me. I would love that. And we can learn together. That would be great. Comment that below. Contact me on my social medias, please. And I would love to be a part of that. Thank you for watching my video. If you like what I had to say, please subscribe and see more from me. If you want to see more of my thoughts on these books in the future. I definitely plan on posting something. I'm not sure in what capacity performative allyship is a thing, and it's so funny to see like book Twitter and booktube die after everyone was Black Lives Matter. There's still quite a few that aren't, obviously, but there's still quite a few that have gone quiet. I think this is an ongoing process that we have to keep learning from, that now is not the time to get quiet. So yeah, if you want to see the future, what I have planned for these books, and want to know more, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I also read young adult romance and fantasy, so if you are interested in any of those things, then I have tons of videos about that as well. Follow me on all the social medias. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon. Bye.